out. Even when you are among people, you know, you think they see what's inside of you.
Yeah.
So it really affects many things,
Yeah.
outcome of many things in your life.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. It's a thinking skill.
It is a thinking skill.
At the end of the day. Okay.
Yeah. I think when you're able to set boundaries, isn't it? Because you know.
Yes.
You're able to set boundaries because you love yourself, thinking, okay, no, this is as far as you're going. You know, if somebody, so there's somebody just becomes verbally abusive, and your boundaries like, no way, you don't tolerate that because you're really.
Yeah.
So you have, different things. You're able to set boundaries, so before people can just throw any rubbish at you, you can take it.
And walk on you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
But this time you know when to say no. Enough is enough, and walk out and not feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that the fact that you say no to somebody's request doesn't mean you're a bad person or whatever. No, it just means you're respecting your own boundaries. Okay, and that's a very important one as well. This thing about boundaries, because especially with women, always wanting to do things for others, at the expense of your own health. Sometimes, that doesn't show that you love yourself. Yeah, lack of boundaries, just to be nice to other people, that's not self-love, because when you burn out, you're not good to anybody. Okay, so boundaries are very, very important in every area of your life. So so loving yourself, therefore, would include setting boundaries to protect yourself, really, from getting hurt, from getting abused, or from getting burnt out, and to retain your energy. And that also includes, as Jackie said, is that you quit tolerating things that don't serve you. Just quit tolerating things. I mean, and this can be things, physical things, or it can be people. Okay, so you want to look, you may want to look at your life and see the kind of people you're attracting into your life. So there's a kind of bunch of people who you find drain you. Just by being with them, you just come out feeling drained and that sort of thing. Whereas there's another bunch of people you surround yourself with, and you come out feeling kind of charged up and able to share, able to give as well. Yeah. So knowing the kind of people that you spend your time with also tells us or reflects how you feel about yourself. So I like that about boundaries as well. We've actually covered quite a good chunk of things that it means to love yourself and the benefits of loving yourself. So basically, you are healthier for it, because if you love yourself, you're looking after yourself on the inside and on the outside. Okay, part of the inside bit meaning that you're setting boundaries and you're sticking to them. Okay, it means you say something, you say you'll do something, and you stick to what you said you would do. Okay, and that includes the lifestyle thing as well, the healthy lifestyle and all that. So you stick, you make commitments, you stick to them, and as a result, you get the intended outcomes from your life. Okay, so when you love yourself, benefits include your self-esteem is improved, your self-confidence is improved, your relationships with others are improved. Your relationships are much better for it, and you attract the right kind of people into your life as well. And when you set boundaries and you respect those boundaries, other people will begin to respect you as well, and they'll begin to respect your boundaries as well. So those are just a few of the benefits of loving yourself. Okay, and from what we've shared, you can have an idea of what the dangers are if you do not love yourself. Really, from everything we've shared now, you can just turn everything back on its head, and you'll see that if you don't love yourself, chances are you're more likely to slip into bad habits. In terms of health, you may overeat, gluttony. You can't love yourself and do that to yourself. Okay, you can slip into things like drug abuse, alcohol abuse, any kind of abuse, self-abuse, depression. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I mentioned it at that talk as well, because that's what it is. Is that somebody is so full of negative thoughts about themselves. They don't like themselves, very often to the point where they don't feel they're worth living anymore. They just don't feel like going on anymore. Whereas if you love yourself, there's actually no room for that, really. Because all your thoughts about yourself are good and hopeful, and all those characteristics we mentioned earlier. So you're right. If a danger of not loving yourself is you could sink into depression. So that's your mental health suffering. Okay, so your physical health suffers, your mental health suffers, your social health suffers. Okay, your financial health suffers, believe it or not, because everything is affected. You have to remember. Okay, your financial health. I mean, every source of income you have has to do with other people. None of us works in isolation. And so if your relationship with other people are not good, so that will affect your social, financial, and other aspects of your life as well. So it's a very key thing. You know, when we were given those commandments to love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself, it was for a very important reason. Okay, and I just want to bring this out, share this for us today, is that, you know, we need to become more aware of areas in which we're not loving ourselves, we're not looking after ourselves, we're not respecting ourselves. Okay, very, very important to be aware of that. Okay, so that really is the gist of what I wanted to share today, is just to bring up into our awareness the importance of loving ourselves. And the reason it's so important, there are many other reasons that we've mentioned, right? But the bottom line, take home if you will, reason why you need to love yourself is because your self-image, right, affects your performance. Okay, and the things I teach, the things I've written about in the book, and the things I share wherever I get the opportunity to, are really about helping you improve your performance. In that wheel of life, you see there are different areas, different sections that your life is divided into. So you can pick any 3 areas that you want to work on initially, and then when you've reached your goals, you pick another 3 to work on. But the whole point is that you won't get any results unless you take actions. Okay? You won't take the right actions unless your thoughts are in the right place. Your thoughts won't be in the right place until you love yourself. So it really boils down to what's on the inside of you. Okay, so it's your thinking skills. Alright? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And before we round up, I just want to ask you, what is one thing that you will take home today and you will act on from today? Because I don't want this to be a session where we've come and we've talked and we've nodded because it's all sounded very good and then not do anything about it. Okay, so I want to ask you, it's a challenging sort of question, but I just want you to tell me, yeah, if you will, think about it for the next few seconds. Tell me what one thing, just one thing, you would do differently, or maybe not differently, but something you definitely begin to do from now on as a result of what we've shared today. So something that shows a deliberate act of loving yourself, more or less. If you can share that with us, that'll be good.
I think mine would be to, because I overwork, I do a lot of things, so it would be to delegate, because it's part of loving myself not to overworking myself.
Yeah.
And just allowing other people who are continuing can do that.
Yeah.
Because I was delegated one, and somebody felt, I love somebody make me feel guilty that I'm giving, this chunk of, like let's say doing housework.
Yeah.
I'm too busy, so it's good to delegate, because I can delegate that, because I'm doing something else.
Yes.
And so I will continue doing that, because I think it's me loving myself, allowing to allowing myself time to rest after a week's work.
Right.
So do that and delegate other things which I think needs I know it needs to be done, but so I don't overstretch myself, and I have to be part of loving myself. So that is
it's a very
something.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jackie, and for bringing it up, because it's a very important thing, and again, very common with women. You want to do everything. Yeah, superwoman. You want to do everything because you don't trust that anybody else can do it as well as you. Okay, I've got news for you. Other people can do it as well as you. So you might as well just get over that whole attitude and do what Jackie is talking about doing. Begin to delegate stuff. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You sometimes just need to chill out a little bit, for want of a better phrase. Just let other people do the stuff so that you can rest, refresh, and be a better person to hang around with them anyway. Because if you're overworked, especially when you're into taking on so many things, which a lot of us are prone to doing, if you're overworked and everything, you can get very frustrated, you can get very irritable and things. So you need to make space for yourself, and that's what delegating does, yeah? Cool.
Okay, I'm at a time of life where I'm making big decisions, and I've got so much work in my hands. And I've always thought I love myself because I do take time like to really kind of treat myself.
Good.
Because which women sometimes we don't think of. You know, typical example, you feel guilty of treating yourself because maybe you don't have enough to treat everyone else. Me, I think different.